Yeah, it's a tough day. You see the guys go their separate ways. A lot of the guys you won't play with ever again. Just the nature of the business, so it's tough. That way it's tough knowing that we left some points on the board. Throughout the season. 88 points is it's a pretty good year. It's tough to say that you can't get in with that in the playoffs, but things happen, and it's tough not to be gearing up to be playing in a playoff series this week.
I'll say, over the years, long before you were here, we could say, well, if somebody to make the playoffs, this was a bad team. This was not a bad team. This was a really good team, which I think makes it even tougher.
Yeah, it puts a little bit more strain on everybody. Throughout the whole year, you think that you have a great team, and at the deadline you go out and get some guys that are great players to add as additions, and you just think that things are gonna fall correctly. But some teams they up the ante a little bit, and it makes it tough, and you don't get those points down the stretch is what really kills you.
How about your experience here and getting a chance to go up? What did that mean to you this year?
I would like to thank both Hershey and Washington for giving me that opportunity. Just developing here and trying to develop my game, and in order to get to the NHL level and stay there. But it was a tremendous experience for me in my first year, getting some games up there, and then playing here as well. It was two great organizations. Can't ask much more. For my rookie season, besides maybe getting into the playoffs, but just for me personally, I had a lot of fun this year.
Seems like the last couple of days, after the games, you try not to think about it. You think about it too much, but now when you start cleaning out your locker and you start packing up your house, and it becomes very real that the season's over, and disappointment for sure is what I'm feeling.
I think the toughest thing for those of us who've seen almost every game is that in the past, long before you were here, and they missed the playoffs, there were bad teams. This was a good team, and I think that makes it kind of tougher.
Yeah, it's frustrating when you look at our roster and look at our personnel. For some reason, I think we underachieved, and that's disappointing, and it makes you look at yourself pretty hard in the mirror, and hopefully, it helps guys in their career and helps them become better players as they go forward. But it's definitely tough to swallow right now.
You look at the positive aspect for you. You were talking to Tim here about playing in Hershey and the fact that this is a great place to play.
Yeah.
You had a good time, other than maybe the final result.
Right. Yeah. No, it's a great place to play. I think the attendance speaks for itself when it comes to fan support and just general support for the team. I just bought a coffee today, and the guy said, tough way to end the year, and so there's a great fan base here and great support for the Bears, and they do a lot for the community, and the community does a lot for the Bears, I think, and that's pretty evident.
I think it's very strange. It's tough. It's always tough. I've been through it a couple of times, and it's never fun. No matter what the expectations are, you want to be playing hockey still, and the time that matters is playoff time and winning championships, and we don't even get to throw our hat in the ring this year, and that's pretty tough pill to swallow right now.
What's your assessment of what it was that kept you guys from getting that extra 2 points that would have made the difference?
You probably think back to the beginning of the season. I think we dug ourselves a pretty big hole. I think 88 points is going to get you in the playoffs most years, obviously. I think they said that it would take them, they'd have to go back in the history books 25 years to find another team that, had 88 points and didn't make the playoffs. But, you can think back over the year, and there was just a couple stretches that, that stretch at the beginning of the year, and, a few games, that game at Worcester not too long ago that we, had the lead going into the, last 4 minutes of the game that we gave up those points. There's going to be those times, but, the beginning of the year is obviously, it's easier to get points at those times, and, it took us a while to come together as a team, and we dug ourselves a pretty big hole, and it took us a while to, dig ourselves out of it, and in the end we came up just a little short.
What was the experience for you like being here? You got so wrapped up in the community with track and strays and all that. What was it like for you being here this year?
It's obviously it's a great town. It's a great hockey town. You're not going to find another community that embraces their hockey team any more than Hershey. So, I loved it, and obviously it's, like you said, it's frustrating just to not have the playoff part of it. Obviously that's what we're here for. That's our job, is to win hockey games and make it into the playoffs. And, we didn't do that, but, I'm very thankful that Hershey as a community has supported us all year, and that they've, embraced our charity, the Strachan Strays, and, we've had some great events and met a lot of great people in the town. And it's, truly been a great experience.
Yeah, I made it.
NHL deal? Are you looking for an NHL deal again?
You know what? I made it clear I want to be back here. However that shakes out, hopefully it happens soon. Or, my wife and I both love it here. We had our baby boy here, so we got good memories. The organization is first class. I've been on a few in this league, and this is by far the best place to play. So we want to be back, and hopefully it all works out.
As you said, that you're obviously thinking about a lot of shoulda, coulda. If there's a couple of things you could put your finger on, like, all right, this really went well during that 12-game win streak here. Now this didn't go particularly well down the stretch. Is there a generality there that you can put your finger on at all?
Not really. It's a long year. You're going to have your ups and downs as a team. But I know when we were playing well, when we had that good run, we were coming to the rink and it was business, and it was fun to come to the rink. Guys were in good moods, and I think at the start of the year we took a little longer to gel as a team. I think guys weren't sure their roles maybe at certain times, but like I said, we had a good push and it wasn't enough.
Is it as simple as the power play? When you guys had the great run, you had ticked up the power play to 18%.
Yeah.
It seemed like that 18% was like kind of a magic number that just
Yeah.
made everything come together.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was just the power play that never got us into the playoffs, but definitely special teams are huge at this time of year and in the playoffs. So those need to be clicking, and they, it just wasn't at the end for us. But I can't just say it was just the power play that never got us into the playoffs. I think it could have been one bounce or two bounces throughout the year that an extra goal, an extra point, whether it was in a shootout or that could have got us in. And you think about all the points that we left out, maybe you don't know it at the time, but that could have been that point. So you definitely got to be, it's a full year. It's a long year, and it's a marathon of a year, but you got to make sure of your chances when you have them.
I mean, I've spoken with my agent multiple times, but as an agent, I guess it's pretty tough to say right now. It's so far away from the draft. So, he seems to think that is positive, which is a good thing. But nothing's ever guaranteed. So we just got to take it by day by day and see what goes on.
What was the experience like for you being here and going through? You're going to get a lot of build-up. People love the fact you were from Australia. You got your first goal. What was it like here for you?
It was awesome. It was a really good year. A great bunch of guys. I had a really fun time. I couldn't ask for a better way to start my pro hockey career in North America. So it was a really fun time and really good experience for me.
In terms of learning things, and obviously you didn't play every game, but this is kind of a weird feeling for a lot of these guys because they've been through this. Veterans in the AHL, what's your emotions today?
It's mixed emotions, I guess, but I have learned a lot here. Just by the professionalism of the older guys. The work ethic of all of them as well. So it's a really big eye opener to me, and I really thank everyone for what they did and how much they've pushed me to become a better guy and a better player too.
Now, you were to camp with the Caps and stuff and kind of been under their purview. Have they given you any indication that they're going to be interested in picking you?
I haven't spoken to any of them personally about it. I'm guessing they're probably thinking the same thing I am, and just wait and see how it all pans out.
I don't know. It's bizarre. I mean, you didn't get a job done. We don't make playoffs. It's never a good feeling. But we put ourselves in this situation, and we got to live with it, and learn from it.
You're heading into free agency here. What's your thought process? And I'm guessing you really want some with an NHL component.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's going to be definitely a key. But I'm not there yet. It's still really early. And like I said, maybe there was some talk earlier on this season, but as of now, just keep it quiet, go home, relax for a little bit, and take out of that later.
Talk about your experience and getting the chance to go up and getting that great shot up there.
Yeah, it was great. I learned a lot. I learned about the game, what I need to improve on, and what was able to get me there, and keep those things in check. And then, and overall, for myself, it was a great experience. And no playoffs there either, though. But hopefully, is going to carry on maybe, to free agency or the next camp next year, and hopefully good things come out of it.
Was this harder because you guys really, I mean, you had a good team here, and you went through these great spurts. Does that make it, doubly hard because you were right on the edge?
Good stretches like we put up quite a bit of wins and points on the board. But you cannot just look at those good stretches. We had bad stretches as well. Or stretches where we would win one, lose one, win one, lose one. You got to look at those as well and be like, well, we should have been better. And those good stretches were good. Well, good job, but didn't get a job done. So, you just got to look at the overall picture.
By now, it's sunk in that the season's over. I think everyone's pretty disappointed. I've never been done this early. I've always been on teams that made the playoffs or gone far, and this is just disappointing with the expectations we had going into the season. And I never thought at any point during the season that we wouldn't make the playoffs. Just gonna have to regroup, and for the guys coming back, make up for it, and for everyone personally, just using this motivation to make yourself better.
To look at the number of points you got, and to think that you didn't get in with 88 seems almost far-fetched in this league.
Yeah, I mean, if we were in the East, we'd be in 7th, but we just didn't get it done, unfortunately. I wish the 88 was enough, but it wasn't. And, it just didn't get it done. I mean, that's all there is to it. And, it's just too bad, because I thought we had a pretty good group of guys and a lot of talent. And if we had gotten in, I thought that, championship was definitely possible. But, it's just one of those things.
You're heading back into the free agency mosh pit here. What's your thought process?
Yeah, it's every year I've done that, except for one. I was restricted, but I don't really have any thought process. It's out of my hands now. It's up to the guys in the suits to make the decisions, and it's gonna be a long time stressing and waiting for free agency or weighing my options, and I don't, at this point I have no idea what my options are or anything. So it's not a fun place to be in, but it's just part of the business.
On a positive note, what was your experience like here? For the first year, you did a lot of community stuff, getting involved with Hershey. What was that like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was a cool atmosphere being here. I mean, with how serious they take their hockey. Obviously the building was sold out every night, and it's a fun atmosphere to play in front of. I just can only imagine what the playoffs would be like here. I mean, that's my biggest regret is that we're not going in, and be able to feel that excitement, and get to see a OT winning goal in the playoffs and see how that place erupts. So, it was a good experience, and I enjoyed my time here, and we'll see if I have a chance to do it again.
It's been a few days now to kind of sit back and take it all in. It's one of those things where, I've been in the playoffs the last few years, and it's an exciting time of the season, but it's always hard coming in and packing up your gear and leaving for the summer. It's frustrating.
I think a lot of what we've been talking about this morning is that we figured 88 points would get you in, and it just seems kind of hard to imagine.
Yeah, it is. I think the more we talk about it, the weirder it seems. Like you said, it's a lot of points to get in a season. They talk about the number of home wins we've had, and obviously that should be enough to get us in right there too. But it just didn't cut it. It's a tough conference this year. It's like you said, it's frustrating, a little bit embarrassing, but it just wasn't quite enough.
And this was really I love talking to you guys. It was a good group of guys, too. I think it kind of made it even harder, the fact that you did play well and that this was a really good bonding team.
Yeah, definitely. Brought in a lot of good guys this year. I thought coming into the season it was, we'd be here till July. It was exciting, but the hardest thing's getting in sometimes. And I think if we could have snuck into the playoffs, I think we would have gone a long ways. But it is a great team. It's sad to say that nobody will ever be playing together again. It's just the way the business works, and it's tough.